Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
I think one of the things that attracted people to Alex Smith initially was his mobility, and that's never changed. That guy's a great athlete, but he's so sharp with the football, so accurate, and takes care of it so well, he rarely puts his team in bad situations.
On 1st and 10, Smith. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A shotgun snap for Smith. Incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. And now the defense for Dallas.
Sean Lee's one of my favorite players, and I don't mind saying it because I love his versatility. I can move him inside at the linebacker position. I can move him outside. I can rush him off the edge, rush him up the middle. He can drop into pass coverage. In fact, his versatility was on display even in his high school days, where he was a big-time high school basketball player that had a chance to play in college as well.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Complete. Richardson has it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
First carry for Darius Geis, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Geis with a carry on second down. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darius Geis, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
One thing he does very well, he takes care of the football. Had 176 pass attempts to start his career without an interception. That's the most in NFL history. And finished his rookie year, 23 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Prescott throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
A second down throw for Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And now a look at the Washington defense.
At corner is Josh Norman. I would think he would want to quibble a little bit. Actually, you know, Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
On third down, it's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. A first down throw for Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down.
Here we go. Line 8.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long.
Here we go. Line 8. 26. 26.
Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep for the Redskins, Jamison Crowder. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They bring the 5 seed into the playoffs. Of course, they're one of the wild card teams. And when you're a wild card team, it makes it a little bit tougher. You have to win the extra game. But there's been a precedent set of teams doing that successfully in the past.
And it's usually teams that have aspects that really jump out at you and are really factors in the playoffs. I mean, Pittsburgh, they rode a heavy run game with Jerome Bettis when they won in 2005. And then don't forget the Giants in 2007, that season. Pass rush. Remember how big that was for them during the playoffs. And for Green Bay, it was the quarterback play of Aaron Rodgers. So to me, it's a matter of what's going to affect the game in a big way. Can that aspect of your team really make those plays? A lot of times it's pass rush and quarterback play.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. The first carry now for Rob Kelly. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
I said line 80.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still third down.
And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Smith. And this is going to be incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Galvin away and bring up second down.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Prescott looks to throw on first. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now this offense ready to head back out there. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is Geis. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So 1 quarter in the books here the opening weekend of the NFC playoffs. 7-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. On the handoff, it's Geis. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. They'll try and run for it with Kelly. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. They get 17 down to the 17, and it's a first down. Smith now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Smith. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Back to the ground game now with Geis. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a 1st down for them, too.
Kelly to try to punch it in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
This Cowboy defense trying to hold them out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Smith. And he's got his man. That's Crowder for the Redskins touchdown. Jamison Crowder from 3 yards out. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll make the score 14-0. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. So they won their division and earned the right to play at home in the first round of the playoffs, but this one is not going to script so far.
Nowhere did they have the thought process that they'd be down double digits. But the good thing is it's the first half. You and I know, I mean, you've been with me long enough now. Hang with the game plan. Stay the course for a while. Don't panic and change up things. Keep grinding. Long way to go in this ball.
That was my question to you. You don't throw everything away at this point. Stay on course?
And stay on course. Obviously, you want to eliminate the things that have caused you to be down double digits. But at the same time, you're not getting it all back in one play. Keep going. The game plan was put in there for a reason. That
one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. Takes this to the 45. Not much space there after the nice move. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Prescott from the gun on third. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Smith now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10. They'll hand it down to Geis, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Smith. Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Smith on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Kelly. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. On the ground, it's Geis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and get it with Geis. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Geis, they'll try to run it. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. Geis alone in the backfield here, 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Smith. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Now it's Smith. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They had it 1st and goal. 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
And Beasley with it over the middle. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Crowder now to return. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Samaje Perine and the offense heading back out there. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air. That's exactly what's going on.
They've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 1st down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And that's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn, you don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now it's Crowder. Dances by him. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's the first of 2 games here on this wildcard Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's NFC wildcard game. And it is the Atlanta Falcons who will continue on as they eliminate the Chicago Bears. As for our game, it has been very one-sided in that first half. But you can't take anything for granted in playoff football. As we send you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Prescott from the gun. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Off of play action, here's Smith. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A good pickup there at 22.
A Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or two. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. Now a give running left is Geis. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block. But they're helping out, too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And this one complete to Reed. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Smith now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. This is Geis, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards, but after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Short throw, pick 6 right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. They start on the ground with Geis, and he powers his way up past the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Smith now to throw on 2nd down, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Redskins on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Smith. It's brought in by Dodson. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down. Smith now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a run with Geis. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Smith from the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy because if you let them, what they say, cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beaten on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Looking to throw. Prescott. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Orlando Scandrick. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
So out now come the Redskins. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
After the interception, here's Smith. His throw caught at about the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a...
And this is caught in the end zone. It's Dotson for the Redskins touchdown. Josh Doctson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Redskins capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. Hopkins with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Redskins with the football and the lead as we start the 4th. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To throw on 2nd down. Smith. On the catch, it's Crowder. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. David Irving, never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Back to throw, Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Cowboys swarm in, and it's blocked. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live.
And even before that play happened, you know that they were taking the long view on their sideline. Needed a big play on special teams. Got to score on offense, and then they'll need another big play on special teams, probably an onside kick if they want to win this game.
Yeah, 2-score game, but that play right there kind of kept the door open, didn't it?
Yes, it did, and it's open enough that they definitely have hope.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Prescott to throw it. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll give it to him up the middle. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And barely able to knock it through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a 2-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
But this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up.
Now Smith looking to throw on 2nd down. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Smith. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3 point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To the air again, Prescott. And unsuccessful there, trying to dump it underneath. That'll bring up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. On first down, Smith. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Smith. Buying time to his left. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Right back to him on first down. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. They come out here in the eye. 3rd down, here's Geis. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Here's Prescott. And he's going to go down again. Ryan Kerrigan getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The offense heading back out there. If this game continues the way it's gone, it'll be, well, somewhat of an upset. 5-4, not huge, but still the big thing, winning on the road to stay alive. Pretty big deal.
Yeah, when you pointed out that 5-4, first thing that flashed through my head was college basketball. When they get to their tournament, right?
Yeah, like the 8-9 seed first round game.
Right, you always look at that before you fill out your brackets, don't you? And you got to figure out which one you're going to pick, that 9 seed over the 8. And sometimes even that 7-10 game feels the same way. Not much difference between the two teams. Give them a lot of credit, though, for going on the road and getting it done in this one.
Yeah, that's a difference. NCAA tournament neutral site here on the road and putting some people on notice. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Redskins, they can smell victory now. They take a knee. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And this a 39-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10. They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. Their coaching staff, they were pretty adamant beginning of the year. Our goal is to get to the Super Bowl. Well, they made it to the playoffs. That's part 1, but they fall a little bit short.
And to me, once again, it exemplifies just how difficult it is to not just make the playoffs, but to win games in the playoffs. So you can set your goals high, but if anything is off during that time, you have some key injuries or you just don't play well, you get a bad matchup where that team just has better strength than you in certain areas, this is how it ends. So I don't think it's a total loss of a season, but obviously didn't get where they wanted to go.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.